manager. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Innuendo. If you don't get it, we innuendo. But if you with it, when it's finished, in the end, you win. Dough, man. Let's go. Look, back at it like a bad habit. Another video for you guys. First and foremost, shout out my little brother for graduating college today. Look, proud of you, man. Really, I am. Like, it's always an awesome thing. Like, graduating high school is such a good thing too, but college is that next step forward. And as much as you go through in college, like, it's a whole different ball game. So congratulations, young man. But listen, I don't know what it is. These jobs, man, they don't care about you. They don't appreciate you. They don't like you, man. They don't like. What is it about jobs having favorites? You know, like, okay, this is my favorite employee, where he can do whatever he wants, stuff like that. What makes somebody's favorite? I don't get it. So, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, you could be somebody's favorite, but like the hard workers aren't the favorites. What is it? Just off of personality, you can laugh or maybe grab a beer with this one, but the hard-working one, they may not be frowned upon. They may be like, or they may not want to actually hang out with you. But this one, y'all can laugh and talk about stuff or whatever. The hard-working employee, that may not be the case. Or maybe it's because you want somebody just as lazy as you. Maybe that's how you become the favorite. I don't know what makes people favorites. I just feel like I'm never somebody's favorite when it comes down to it. But I never understand when you work in these type of companies and they got favorites, and I'm never somebody's favorite. And this video is not to sit there and be like, oh, I want to be somebody's favorite. No, I can care less. But what bothers me, what bothers me is like working these jobs and sitting there in situations where I'm like, okay, maybe it's something I'm not understanding, because they always act like there's rules, but they only apply to you. They don't apply to nobody else. There's always rules and they only apply to nobody else. Like realistically, sitting here, got these pieces of paper or whatever, trying to figure out, like, okay, like they give you these arbitrary piece of paper that's like BS on it, okay? You get your job description piece of paper, you know, the freaking attendance policy one and stuff or whatever. The attendance policy, like they always like, okay, fine. So my manager says, like, you're supposed to call them. You're not supposed to send a text. We're fine if that's the rules, but when everybody does it and it's not enforced, it's like, okay, don't sit there and be like, don't give me the back and forth of, you're not supposed to do that, but I'll let you do it because it's not really enforced. Why make something such a huge deal? If you enforce the new rules and you tell people this is what you're supposed to do, everybody will follow them. But when it feels like you're kind of like, oh, this is not really the way we're supposed to do things, and making it seem like I was supposed to know that that's the wrong way, because realistically speaking, like, okay, sure, like, people have this mindset of like, obviously you should know what to do with stuff like that, but when you don't know what to do or you're taught the wrong way, you're going to continue to do those wrong things. So if I'm sitting here and in majority of jobs you call out if you call on the phone, if that's a normal thing, then I would know that. But if everybody is just texting and that's a normal thing, and you're like, oh, I don't think I can make it for my shift, can anybody call, stuff like that or whatever, like, is that, like, what was the policy? So apparently the policy is you got to call, and you're supposed to call the manager on duty. No one has been doing that. And if that's the policy, everybody should know this, and it should be enforced to everybody. Like, I don't know. It's just like, on one hand, you kind of feel the brunt of it all, like, oh, you should know what you're doing or whatever, but at the same time, they also give you the speech of like, I understand it's okay, we haven't been doing it, you know, and a lot of people don't know. Like, they give you the back and forth thing. It's like, pick a side. Are we going to teach everybody? Are they going to tell and inform people? No, they're not. People are just going to get randomly yelled at and get in trouble and be confused why, until she randomly hand you these freaking pieces of paper for you to look over, and in hope that you are one of the only few that actually follow the rules. Anybody else, like maybe their favorites perhaps, probably not, but you follow those rules. So just, it's the way that things are told to you, or when people talk at you, that you kind of feel like why are you talking to me like that? Like if they explain a certain kind of way, or say this is like how you're supposed to do something, you'd be like, oh, I get it now. But if they sit there and talk to you like, why would you do that? And it's like, what do you mean? Why would I not know not to do that, or know to do that? You don't tell me stuff. So they don't tell people stuff. They just want you to know these things. And every so often she tries to act like, she always tries to sit there and be like talking about my LSA description. And I looked at this freaking piece of paper, bro. Looking at this paper, and I'm sitting there like, okay, maybe it's something I'm not doing right. Looking over here like, okay, cool. Reading every little thing or whatever stuff, but it's like general descriptions. Like, I know how to do my job. Nothing in that paper screamed out, oh, I'm not doing what I'm doing right. There was no like specific description. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, now I see why she's getting on me, but I'm not doing what I'm doing right. But regardless, there goes to picking the favorites and stuff. It's like, oh, is she gonna say something to him? Is she gonna say something to her? No, it's just me. Okay, cool. And it's like, I don't know who the favorite is, because at this point, with her not holding her own store together, and it's slowly fumbling and messing up, she's just like going on a rampage of trying to get everybody to work harder and yelling at everybody else, talking about the SOPs. The SOPs basically just the standard operating procedures. I think that's what it is. And basically it's just like how you're supposed to do your job, right? So we're held to a standard, and I think this is just, at this point, most anybody would know this might just be true in general for the most part. But depending on your rank, like the higher the rank, it's like you're technically supposed to be held to a higher standard, but you put all that weight down on the people beneath you. It's like you're treating them like they're actually beneath you. So it's like the store manager, right? How, in God's name, like, you tell them SOPs, we're supposed to finish pallets in like 30 minutes, 25 minutes, like stuff like that, saying like we're supposed to pick up the pick, like do this, that, and the third or whatever, right? Store manager literally likes to hide in the office, bro. She just stays in the office. That's 9 times out of 10 that's all she do. Like, okay, fine, okay, chill in the office, whatever. You might be doing some important work, whatever the case is. Okay, fine. But I've had previous store managers, and that has not been the case for you being in there as long as you have. She might run cooler, like do cooler, this, that, and the third. Okay, now she's working. Look at that. No, she's not. She half-asses her projects that she do, and then she gets help or assistance, and that's how she finishes on time. She gets help and assistance. But little me or anybody else, we individually doing a project and we don't finish in time, and we're just looking at like, oh, why aren't you moving fast? But we don't have help. Are we getting help in this project area or whatever? It's like, what, you talking about this needs to be done in this amount of time. You don't even do the stuff yourself. The worst of it all is like, okay, fine, she does it, whatever. She gets to like the baseline. She wants us to like just take care of the little rest of it. Okay, fine. I would accept that if she didn't freaking leave a pallet for cooler in the cooler one day, and then the next day did the same thing. So there was 2 cooler pallets that wasn't touched for 2 days straight. No excuse at all. It was no reason. Never happened in the history of ALDI. Just sitting in there. She kept saying, oh, she was going to take care of it. One of the other managers, like myself, one of the other managers was talking, asking her, did she want one of us to take care of it? She's like, no, she'll take care of it. Just stayed in the cooler. Eventually, she did it the 3rd day. I was just guessing she was never going to do it, or it was just going to keep piling up. I was thinking maybe because of resets, but that's never been the case. Resets is just when you kind of move stuff around in the store, but you're supposed to still get the product out. That's the main thing. You want to talk about SOPs and how long it takes her to do a pallet. Every time we come in there, we're literally helping her and doing what we're supposed to do. But now I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, there's ways to get stuff done and not overexert yourself. And one of those things is just like, okay, how can I push produce out? How can I do this? How can I do that? Because like, if you sit there, like, that's what I'm saying about favors and stuff. So it's like they want you to work hard, but they also want you to do it the way it's supposed to be done, but in a short amount of time. I made this joke all the time. I always feel like they give you 5 minutes to do any project, no matter how difficult it is. Easy, okay, fine, maybe easy or whatever, but no matter how difficult it is, it's like, oh, you get 5 minutes. That's how it feels. It always feels like 5 minutes, bro. And Aldi is notorious for just the dumb stuff. It used to be like if they would tell you to box out 2 or something like that, but yet you're being called up to ring. So your time should be stopped. The manager, and even when I wasn't a manager, the manager shouldn't come over and be like, hey, what's taking so long? Why aren't you done out too? Like, you don't know. Like, you got a headset on or you hear the bell being rung and you see me ringing. That's what's taking me so long. If I'm supposed to do a project and I gotta stop every other second to do something else, like ring, and you could be ringing for like 10 minutes. If the line get long, it could be like 10 minutes before you get back to that thing. If I have only 30 minutes to box an owl and 10 minutes of that time is stuck on a register and I have to go up there at least twice, that's 20 minutes. I've only been in the owl 10 minutes, so that means the owl's not gonna get done. But Audie doesn't think about that kind of stuff. They just like to make a big deal out of everything, and she is frustrating the heck out of me because she don't know how to talk to people. She just come out of the blue and just talk to you crazy, talking out of the side of her neck, and I'm like what are you talking about right now? And then she says stuff, contradicts herself, and then she tries to fix it and make you look stupid in conversation and talking to you like she talking about something. That's not what I said. Like, no, that's what you said. That's how you said it. If that's not what you meant to say, that's different, but that's how you said it. You can't sit there and say something. You can't be like, you ugly, and I'll be like, did you just call me ugly? Like, I never said that. What are you talking about? That's literally how you said it. Okay, so if you rephrase how you say something, or you trying to backtrack, it's like, whose fault is that? It's not my fault. Like, bro, I can't. She should never be talking to people crazy. Then when you get sick or don't feel good, she gotta ask you 1,000,001 questions. The last time I hurt my freaking eye, I'm over here just trying to get the paperwork and stuff just so I can go to the damn hospital. And she asked me like 20 million questions. So why didn't you call me? And why didn't you fill out so we could have filled out the thing and called all the other, you should have filled out the accident report right then. I didn't even know what officially happened to my eye until afterwards. I thought it was just a slight, or I just hit my hand on the desk. Am I supposed to fill out an accident report because I just accidentally did that with my hand? But then what if later that it like actually starts to hurt a little bit more? I'm like, oh shoot, like damage, right? It's the same for a headache or something else. If your head starts to hurt or whatever, you're like, okay, maybe I just need some water, maybe I need to lay down. Cool, fine. But how is somebody supposed to know to call out because they're sick with just a headache? You could just be tired. But it's like, okay, fine. I'm supposed to just call off for every headache. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Like this makes no sense to me, bro. Like this today, every interactions with her gets on my nerves, bro. And she always talk to people crazy and then come in and be smiling in your face, be like, when you get a chance, I need you to sweep and scrub the floor, okay? Get your ugly herself don't be doing stuff like she's supposed to do. Half the time she's in the office doing God knows what and wondering why her superiors are yelling at her, so she think, okay, I'm gonna yell at them because her store not together. Then when she's not in the store and people are getting sick and calling out, she's like, oh, I don't know what I can do because I'm not there. I'm in a whole different universe or planet or whatever. Like, okay, whose fault is that? Who told you to leave? You're over here trying to save face and look nice helping out at other stores, and you're not even taking care of your own area. You're not even taking care of your own store. Not making no freaking sense, bro. And then you got the other hand of Burger King freaking... I called the store too. That's the thing too. Like I called the store. They didn't answer both days. And I sent my store manager a text. Then she hit me up Friday at like 6 o'clock talking about some, so I guess you're not showing up for your shift today. Nigga, what? I wasn't even scheduled to work. So I was so confused, bro. And she was just basically saying like, let me know if we wasting your time and all this other stuff or whatever, because I'm hearing things, and if you don't want to be here, just let me know. Something like that. I'm like, what are you talking about? I called out both days because I didn't feel good. Like, I'm calling the store and they're busy, sure, but it's not my fault that they not answering. So I call and then I texted her. I just gotta make calls and in hopes that they answer, and then I send a text be like, hey, I gave you a call. It was no response, but I won't be able to make my shift today. I tried calling the store as well. They want professional Eli. They're gonna get professional Eli. Like they want professional. That's what they're gonna get. But like, it's just, I don't like the runaround that they be giving and how they trying to run us to the ground too. Like these jobs is just crazy, man. And then freaking afterwards, when I showed her I wasn't supposed to work and I sent her the schedules, like basically saying, that she didn't apologize for the mistake, but she was like, oh, okay, so that was the correct schedule or whatever. Okay, it says you're off. Okay, or something like that. But it wasn't like, oh, my bad, I didn't mean to, whatever. And then she like saying she hearing stuff. So I don't know if people like they didn't see me, so they just was like panicking, like, hey, what's going on with Eli? I don't know. I mean, all these jobs are just, communication is just terrible, and then they be expecting you to put forth the most effort in all this. They're like, okay, Eli, did he call? Fine, I need to call, whatever the case is, sure. But communication, like, who's not on their phone? Like, I do manager work and stuff like that. If something's posted in there, you're supposed to be able to, okay, cool, what's the name, called out, we all communicate with each other. If someone contacts the store manager, there's been plenty of times when they contact the store manager directly, and this is not just a Burger King thing. This is at Aldi mostly, but when they contact the store manager directly, and she don't even say anything. It was one time, it was a call out, and she told me to come in, and I came in to help, and the manager was, and one of my other fellow managers didn't even know I was coming in. He was like, oh, okay, we can use the help, sure. You shouldn't, communication. Like, you're talking about me calling it, like, they don't care. They don't give a flying fuck, bro. Like, they don't care.
What is going on up in the brain helmet, bro? What are you doing in there?
They do not fucking care. It is getting on my nerves, bro, because, like, it's when you work most places, you got to kind of just suck it up and just stuff happens. But end of the day, it's just always at least the respect part. Like, I got to at least get my respect. But, like, I don't know. They crazy as shit, bro. Like, this fucking crazy. Like, if I'm sick, I'm not, bro. Nobody is bending backwards for these companies because I don't feel good. Like, I'm sitting there, I know my store manager at Aldi, I'm over here trying to say, like, first of all, I had already said, like, I wouldn't be able to make it, or whatever the case is, and then she asked if I can just come in until 9, and then I'm talking about okay, I upchucked in the bathroom, whatever, can I go home? It's already 9 anyway, mind you, and she's looking like, well, you gotta find, it's always supposed to be leadership from our store in the building. Now, there was a manager there who had worked at our store before, who was a part of our store before, but because he's not a part of our store now, he's just here helping out, that we couldn't really use him per se. But, like, even talking to her on the phone, it was never really, like, initiated, like, hey, I get to try to see who you can find or whatever the case is, but otherwise, like, if you really can't, go ahead and go. That was never said. The only thing she said was in a text saying, like, I'm not saying that you have to stay, but there needs to be management, and that's not how you talk to people. That's not how you say things. You're supposed to be, bro. Oh my god, this didn't turn into a fucking rant, bro. And I swear, like, I swear, this is just. But I always tell people all the time. That's why I don't mind customer service job interacting with customers, because I don't mind the customers. Customers are fine. Anything that gets on your nerves is usually internal stuff. The stuff that you deal with coworkers and management, your peers, the people who's supposed to have your fucking back, bro. People who's supposed to be like there for you and making sure that you good. That's what will get on my nerves, bro. And it's like, there's adjustments I can make, but there's ways that they can talk to me and educate me so I can know. You don't keep continuously talking to me and acting like I should know and then be mad because I don't. Just figure it out. Help me, help you, help me. Like, what the freak, bro? Like, I remember I was freaking doing the resets for the register, and I asked one of my other managers or whatever, and they told me one of the powers right there was it, and I didn't know we had any more in the thing. She talking about, my store manager talking about something I should have asked. I did ask. Who asked who? Asked you? Be clear about it. You should give me a call, Eli, so that way you would know. Okay, fine. But don't be like, and because when I freaking told her, and then the funny thing is about that too is the fact that, okay, so there was space, okay, fine, and the stuff wasn't put there. So the stuff, it was supposed to be stuff that was being put there. Okay, cool, fine. I made a mistake. I didn't know it was there. She said it was some way I could have checked in the machine, but I've never used that machine. That's above my pay grade. Literally, it's literally above my pay grade. That's not even something I do. Is that machine that checks the product and all that stuff in the thing, or whatever. So, but there's a way I could have checked or whatever the case is. Fine, but tell me why she freaking got one of the associates to put some soap in the area where like these chips or something was supposed to go. That was on the by the registers or whatever, she had her put soap there, and her reason was it was no other way to put it because that product that was supposed to go there was already on the shelf. When she literally just got on me for telling about something that she just directed somebody to do the improper thing. And they was about to get rid of that sign, and then eventually they put the right thing there. Why didn't you just have her put the right thing there? Bro, like... If you guys enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. I put the videos out every single week, pretty much every single day. I thought this mic was the one on. Roll to 1,000. Let's get it in. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Let me know what you guys want to see next. If you want to hear another rant or just talk crazy about the job or whatever. But look, most of the days be crazy. And the day was fine until she just started randomly complaining. Like, I'm freaking sweeping the floor, and I walked past her sweeping like 5 times, and she said she didn't see me.